At the time of the birth of my last little daughter, an idea came to me. Why not have a national Congress of mothers whose growth would quickly become international?
With those few words, Alice McClellan Burney shared the moment of birth for an organization that transformed forever the world's perception of how society should treat children. In 1897, and for decades surrounding it, many children, especially the poor, were given little or no education and put to work to help support their families. The work was hard, the hours long, and the toll on their childhood devastating. Alice wanted to change that. She found the perfect ally in Phoebe Hearst, wealthy philanthropist and wife of Senator George Hearst. The two women set about organizing a national meeting of mothers and fathers to address the pressing issues of child labor and education. With the help of Phoebe's son, Randolph, and his publication connections, word of the event was spread across the country. Even so, Alice remained humble about her expectations for attendance.
I shall be satisfied even if only 25 mothers are there.
That first convention of the National Congress of Mothers, held in February 1897, was attended by more than 2,000 people. During the meeting, a platform and a declaration of principles were established to guide the mission of the organization. The PTA found friends in both the U.S. Congress and the White House, with allies like President Teddy Roosevelt, whose involvement, along with other leaders, further reinforced the early mandate to include fathers in the movement. As the association moved forward into the early 1900s, it grew from 100,000 members to 2.5 million, which included members of the National Congress of Colored Parents and Teachers, founded by Selina Sloan Butler, a dedicated and tireless pioneer and advocate of opportunities for both children and women. The spirited work of Selina and her colleagues led in time to the unification of her organization with the National Congress of Parents and Teachers. As the association grew, it reinforced standing policy issues and introduced new initiatives that established the association as the world's primary child advocate, always mindful of its primary objectives. One of the earliest initiatives set by the founders was universal kindergarten, pioneering in what is today a standard component of our education system. Early concern about childhood health issues resulted in the PTA initiating and then spearheading federal school lunch legislation. It was the PTA that succeeded in taking federal legislation to individual states working for and enacting child labor laws. Almost from the beginning, the PTA recognized the need for better treatment for juveniles in the legal system, passing a resolution endorsing a new concept called juvenile courts. For over 100 years, the PTA has left its imprint on broad social programs and education for children. Despite a century of hard work and accomplishments, there is much more to do. We are at a critical intersection in our history that demands even more from all of us if social and educational programs for children and families are not to be deprioritized. The association has not forgotten its bread and butter issue, families engaged in the education of their children. It has advocated for the introduction of the Family Engagement in Education Act. This legislation incentivizes schools and districts to meaningfully engage families in an effort to close the achievement gap. Many of the PTA's accomplishments since it was founded have been achieved because supporters like you created a partnership of purpose to ensure their success. It can be done. Alice Burney foresaw it.
Make the child the watchword and the ward of the day and hour. Let all else be secondary, and coming generations will behold a new world and a new people.